Hey Parkside, welcome to this week's encouragement video. Thanks for tuning in. Last night our pastors were gathered over at my house, and we had dinner together, and we're meeting and talking about different things, praying through a whole host of issues, and praying over the needs of the congregation. And one of the things that came up in our conversation was not the most encouraging. In fact, it was somewhat discouraging. As we talked about different guys, ministry leaders that we had seen fall in the last couple of months, and there just seems to be an uptick in that. And it's just disheartening to see people that have loved Jesus, I hope still do love Jesus, but stumble and make really grievous mistakes. And I think for all of us, there are people in our lives that we look to. So I wonder what this person would say about this thing, whether it's a family member or a theologian or a politician or an economist or a business guru or whatever. We've got people we look to, and we tend to elevate them in some ways, and that's not entirely bad. But in this conversation of guys that fell, I was encouraged by going back to John 13. John 13 is where Jesus washes the disciples' feet. And I want you to hear in John 13:1 the way Jesus finishes. He's a finisher. Listen to this. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, he knew it was time for him to go. Here's what it says. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. He loved him to the end. He finished well. Like, oh man, of all the times where I'm tempted to look to somebody else, what did they think? And what would they say about this? Here's the one who finished his race perfectly. And so as I think about my life and how am I drawing encouragement today, I'm encouraged to look to the face of Christ. I'm encouraged to seek the mind of Christ, that in humility counts others as more significant than himself. I'm encouraged to look to the heart of Christ that oozes with mercy and compassion, and ask the Father, help me to have the heart of Christ with the humble mind of Christ, seeking the face of Christ, to do the will of Christ, to be his hands and feet here. And Parkside, here's the thing that encourages me this morning is Jesus did love his own to the end. He finished well, and with our eyes fixed on him, we will never be let down, ever. Even as people in this life do let us down. And so we want to strive to be godly leaders who finish well. I certainly want to be a godly and humble leader who finishes well. I know that I will stumble at points. I know others will. But boy, there's encouragement in looking to Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Oh, Parks, I long for us to just fix our eyes on Jesus. And I'm encouraged the more I look at him and see the perfect life he lived applied to my account. It puts fuel in my tank to keep going, whatever challenge I face today. And I just trust you'll do that. Look him full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. This Sunday we'll be in Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41. This is Jesus calming the storm, one of my favorite passages in all the Bible. But I hope you'll be there. I hope you'll invite somebody who doesn't know Jesus, because it is such a clear passage of who Jesus is, with some good apologetics material for those who may be skeptics, and so that'll be really great. I will remind you at 9 o'clock, we have our prayer and family meeting. We'll be praying together for about 30 minutes, family meeting for 30 minutes, as we have some new members to introduce and 2 new lay pastors to put before you as a church. So it's an exciting time here at Parkside. God is doing so much. We're glad to be here and just watch what he's doing and play a small part in it. I hope you'll be back this Sunday. Love you, Parkside. We'll see you then.